Hello everyone, Niklsun here, and welcome to Coming Soon Reviews. This is a show where every week I will be reviewing a major wide release and then going over the positives and negatives as well as giving my overall thoughts on the film in general. So without any further ado, let's get started with this week's review of 22 Jump Street. And let's get started with the positives. So, this movie is hysterical. It is so funny. One of the things that I found that was really touching about it was it pulled a Hangover 2, but it did a different hangout. It's really difficult to actually explain without giving certain things away, and I really want to save a lot of stuff so that you guys can go and see it yourselves. But it follows the formula of the original, but they're very self-aware of that. They keep making references to it. They're like, just do the same thing you did last time. No one thought the 21 Jump Street reboot would be good, but you know what? You guys came in and knocked it out of the park. So the company's throwing a whole bunch of money at upgrading you guys. They just keep saying like we're gonna double your budget. They even walk in, and this one's not really a spoiler, but they walk in to the new 22 Jump Street and they look up and they go, wow, look at the captain's office. It looks like a big ice cube, or it looks like a big cube of ice. And then Ice Cube comes out, and you're just like, everyone in the theater started laughing. So I thought that was kind of funny. It's so self-aware. I was laughing my ass off from beginning to end. I did find the storyline of it, I did think was a little bit below the original. Just a hair underneath it. The more of what worked in the film was them being self-referential to the fact that not only are they a movie, but they're a sequel. I'm even drawing a blank as to some of the things that I remember what they were about, and they were self-referential. They'd be talking about how, we got no more money left. They're like, what are you talking about? I thought they gave us a huge budget. They said, yeah, but you had the opening car chase. You had, and they just keep going through all the action scenes that have happened throughout the movie. Like, we got no money left. You can't destroy anything else. And so I thought it was really funny. And there'll be things like, when you throw it, say something cool. Like if he has a grenade, he's like, when you throw it, say something cool. And as he throws it, he's like, something cool. Like, it's just a very self-aware film. And I thought it was great. It had great cameos in it, sprinkled all throughout the movie. Some returning characters from the first movie as well. I'm not going to spoil what they are, but one of the best parts of the movie, and this is in no way a knock to how good the film is, but one of the best parts about the movie in general were the end credits. Not the after credit scene, which is even funnier, I find, than the actual credits themselves. By the way, there is a credit scene after all the credits. The theater that I was in, I was the only one who stayed. I was the only one. The theater was packed. Everyone got up and left after all the things happened during the credits. And they should have waited. It is so funny. Oh my god, it is so funny. But I'm not going to spoil what the credits are, but they are absolutely hysterical. And make sure you do stay for them because you're not going to be disappointed. But yeah, it's very self-aware film. It's very funny. The chemistry between Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum is hilarious. Ice Cube has a bigger role in this movie. It's just overall, it was an improvement over the first one with the exception of the story. The story I did find, again, it was a retread of the original, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not recommended to do it, but Phil Lord and Chris Miller were able to do something very unique in this, and they were able to do that with the Lego movie because they also directed the Lego movie. They did Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. They did the original 21 Jump Street. They even did a TV show that I used to watch when I was a kid called Clone High. Like, that's how far back these guys go to their sensibilities of being so oddball and so unique and weird, but still hilarious at the same time. So again, it's got probably the funniest after credits scene I've ever seen. So you got to make sure that you stay for that. The negatives, the only negatives that I could think of when I was even watching the movie and then after the film, the trailers gave away a lot of the funny parts, a lot of the big laugh out loud funny parts, especially the Red Band trailer if you watch that. But they also give away the secret villain of the film. The quote unquote student dealer who is distributing the drugs. So they did kind of give that away. I guessed it pretty early on. which I was a little bit upset on, but it didn't really take me out of it because, again, you're not going there for the story, you're going there for the jokes, you're going there for the comedy. You can't critique one movie the same way that you would another movie. So those are really the only things that I could find wrong with it. It kept me laughing from beginning to end. It had a lot of heart to it, which I really felt, especially about 2/3 of the way in. There's a big sequence that happens where you're just like, wow, you actually are feeling for these characters, which you never thought you would. But Lord and Miller are able to do that, and I mean, kudos goes to the performances of Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that Jonah Hill is a 2-time Academy Award nominated actor. He's been nominated for 2 Academy Awards for acting, so the guy knows what he's doing. And I mean, you got Channing Tatum, who's on the biggest career high that he's ever had. His career just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So I mean, it's just fantastic. I'm so happy for these guys because they were able to come back and they were able to do what not a lot of people thought they could do, which is make a comedy sequel that's actually good. And this one did it and did it almost better. I would put it right in line with the original, right in line. I would not say it's worse. The storyline wasn't worse. It was just the same. But outside of that, I would say that it was the same, if not maybe even just a little bit better. But again, this is my opinion. My overall score of the film, I am going to give it. This is one that I actually had to think about for a while as to what I was going to give it. But I did end up deciding on a 9. I gave it a 9 out of 10 just because when it came to what a comedy is, it really gave me a sense of first off, I knew I wouldn't be let down by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They haven't let me down yet, and every movie they do, it keeps getting better and better and better. You got Channing Tatum, you got Jonah Hill, all these things put together in a blender. I just thought it was hilarious. They took it to a college level, so Channing Tatum was really able to really let go and be even funnier than he was in the first one. Like, it's just overall, this is just a great film. I definitely recommend you go and see it. Go and see it as quickly as you can, because the way that this summer is coming, actually next week there's not really a big major release coming out, so I don't think we're going to have to worry too much about anything major coming out next week. But the week after that, we have Transformers 4. Which I'm really looking forward to, and I cannot wait to review that film. So that'll most likely be my next review. I may not do a review next week, just because there's not really anything coming out, at least in my hometown. I've already checked the show times. There's nothing listed yet, but that could change coming up. But as it stands right now, I'm probably not going to be doing a review next week. So my next review will be of Transformers Age of Extinction on June 27th. So this has been my review of 22 Jump Street. Again, my overall review was 9 out of 10. I felt that it was just a great film overall. The only negative parts I found was that just the trailers gave away too much of the film. That's just my own personal pet peeve. Outside of that, it was very funny, very self-aware comedy, which I loved. We don't get enough of those. And it had great cameos and probably the best credit sequence I've ever seen in a movie ever. So yeah, 9 out of 10. This has been Niklsun. You guys can click subscribe in the bottom corner to get updates whenever I post a new video. You can also find me on Twitter at Niklsun, Niklsun, for all of your movie updates, as well as you can find us on our Facebook or on our website at movienewswithniklsun.ca, where you can post any questions or comments that you may want to have answered on Friday's episode, where we will discuss user-submitted questions. So without any further ado, this has been Niklsun. You guys have been great, and you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.